And we're live. Hello, it's Bill, the knee pain guru. Today is Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021. We're going to talk today about the knee orthopedist found nothing and the PT made it worse. Okay. Let's see. We're going to go. This came from an email that came in to the knee pain guru through the website, an email that came in. So it was from Amy. Amy says, I have back of knee pain, no trauma linked to onset, 45 years old, orthopedist found nothing, labeled it possible hamstring strain, went to PT, exercises haven't cured, if anything, more sore now, can walk fine but stiff in the morning, PT suspects possible meniscal issues, even though PT tests for major meniscus issues are negative, and feels a Baker cyst. My question is, I may have a meniscus tear fray going on, but don't know as I haven't had imaging. Is your program going to help if there is a meniscus injury? Yes. Do I need to know that first? It is better. However, if there's something so tiny that both your orthopedist and your physical therapist can't really figure out what it is, then it's so small that we can probably get you, we can probably help. Okay. I don't really want surgery. I hear that can head me down the path towards more problems. It is true that a surgery can lead to more problems depending on how you approach the rehab from the surgery. So people have surgeries and they do the rehab that's best for their knees feel great. People avoid surgery and they can have great results too. There was a study, and I've mentioned this on previous videos, where it was a double-blind study. The doctors did it. They had orthopedic surgeries for meniscus tears, and they did same amount of group. They put the incisions. Half of them had the knee surgery. The other half didn't have the knee surgery. Then they went into physical therapy afterwards, and after a certain number of months or years after that experiment, there was no difference in terms of people who were better or people who were worse as a result of having the surgery. So I probably need to dig that up. I will do that. However, once again, it's more about, we want to focus on the end result. A lot of people get stuck in the diagnosis and run down these rabbit holes of, based on the doctor's diagnosis that they get or information that they get from their physical therapist or whatever it is, and they forget the outcome that they're looking for, which is being out of pain and having full flexibility and mobility in their knee. And then the concept of pain is also very subjective, that it could be stiffness like Amy is experiencing in the morning, or tightness or discomfort or imbalance. Like, you could call it whatever you want. It's still, all of that experience in your knee is a result of your neurology being unbalanced. Okay, so let's see. I can walk and function overall well enough. I don't do anything but quiet life. No long walks, no hiking, only careful bending, careful on stairs, careful when dressing, super stiff and sore. Notice she didn't say pain. It's different for everybody. Stiff and sore after being immobilized all night in bed. It's not how I want to live for the long haul. I also very occasionally feel something off in the hip on that side. And this happens quite frequently. The knee is injured, the hip pulls back and up to protect the knee. Normal, natural response to pain or accident, injury, surgery, trauma, soreness, stiffness, whatever you want to call it. So the pelvis, the hip, when the hip pulls off, it throws off the pelvis and puts on unnecessary tension in the lower back, which throws off hormones and all sorts of other stuff in the pelvis, because the pelvis is the pump of the entire lymphatic system, and that the pelvis balances hormone production in the body. So there's that. Okay, let me see. Maybe sciatic nerve irritation, maybe something else. Could be, or it's just tension. But it's very rare compared to the chronic knee issue for the past 3 months. Things I read, you write here, make me think there could be more of a systemic back, pelvis, hip, knee issue that's leading to the Baker cyst. This is true, and we don't have to go into the why. We just go into comfort. When we go into comfort, we change the neurological signaling in the knee. We relax the tension in the knee. You gain more awareness in other parts of the leg, the hips, the lower back. Then we create comfort in those places. And in a very short period of time, the body heals itself, because that's what it wants to do. Things I read, you make me hear more systemic. Okay, anyhow, just want you to know, if I need to know if there's a meniscus tear first, if there's a real injury, maybe I need to begin there. And once again, if you've gone to your doctor, you've gone to your physical therapist, and they're not making it better, digging in more to figure out if the meniscus is actually torn or not, when you've already gone to a professional that indicated they can't give you an answer, I personally, I don't see the point. I don't see that getting you out of pain sooner or addressing what's really going on. So we got a few people here on social media, YouTube and Facebook. If you have questions, please type those in the comments section. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications for future videos. Share this video with your friends, your family, or tag them on there, especially the ones that limp. This will be helpful for them. And if you want to know, like, the next step, what do I do? I saw this video. I want help. Okay, here's 3 different ways you can start getting help. One is you can head on over to the kneepainguru.com, get on my newsletter list. Second is you can head on over to the following link to schedule a consultation. And that is to help you develop a strategy to get you out of pain, not to get you out of pain. There's a distinction there with the appointment, because a one-off thing, especially if you've been in pain for weeks, months, years, sometimes even decades, one appointment isn't going to make a big difference. The clients that I'm able to work with and really able to help are looking to make a systemic change in what's going on in their knee, in their body. And lastly is Knee Club. Knee Club is my group coaching program. Work in a Zoom call twice per week. You tell me what's going on with your knee. I will point you to specific videos that you could begin getting relief in your knee right now. When you sign up for Knee Club, you begin starting with what I've put together as a quick start guide. It's a template that gets everybody started no matter when they sign up. A lot of people sign up in the middle of the night, so they want to start getting relief at that point, which I can get them on that path. And then we touch base on the next call, either Monday or Thursday. And those Monday and Thursday calls, that's where we dig in. The calls are recorded. And if you can't make the call, you type in any of your questions in the private Facebook group, which I then go ahead and answer on the live calls, and then you can watch the recording if you can't make it. Okay, let's see. Okay, Kayak Saras, hi Bill, I'm just listening to your words, good vibes. Yeah, you'll be fine. You will be fine. A lot of times we got to keep our head in the game and focus on the right things. And it's so easy when pain hits for it to make you get depressed, feel helpless and hopeless. And that's why I have calls twice per week. So we keep that momentum going. So it's real easy to be entrained, which is really connected with when the knee feels good, I feel good. When the knee feels bad, I feel bad. And there's a part of developing that within yourself to be objective, the objective third party observer of what's going on in the knee, which we can become disconnected from that emotional roller coaster, and we can make choices that are in the best interests of what's for the knee. And the more we're attached to that roller coaster, I feel good when the knee feels good and I feel bad when the knee feels bad, then we're going to kind of throw ourselves a gutter ball and end up in a difficult place, making poor decisions that actually makes the knee pain worse. So you'll be fine. Please make sure you make on the next call. He is a member of Knee Club. So, okay, let's see. Seafoam Green will share with my limping friends. Yes, they're easy to spot. They can't hide. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. What does John have to say? Life has become too much difficult, Guru. I have bone on bone. That in my right knee. Let's see. In my right knee. Yes, you're right. I'm listening. Okay. So I'm working on an interview. This was last week. There was a guy, Alan, that went into, he laid into me about cartilage regeneration in the knee. And my belief that the body has the ability to regenerate itself if given the right conditions to do so. The body has the infinite capacity to heal itself. And Alan was like, I need double-blind studies and I need this and that, blah, blah, blah. And there's a portion of people that need that sort of evidence to have any sort of belief. I'm of the one that I want to look at the landscape of what's going on, take in information, and then use a certain degree of both life experience and common sense to go, well, duh, if you get the pressure off of the nerves in the knee causing pain, it's going to stop the wearing and the knee joint isn't going to degenerate. So then I have friends that are doctors, called a friend of mine who's an osteopath, and I was like, hey, Charlie, tell me about cartilage regeneration. And he went into different degrees of, depending on the wearing in the knee, there's a strategy with reestablishing the space in the joint, the tensegrity structure. And this I've gone in on past videos. It's the balance of tension and relaxation in the body. Once we begin to reestablish the tensegrity structure, and then can use prolotherapy as a strategy. Now, this is beyond above my pay grade. Would be something that you can use in conjunction with what we're doing here, working with a doctor that does prolotherapy for minimal wearing in the knee joint to reestablish cartilage. And then for a bone-on-bone situation, he was talking about a different strategy with the reestablishing the space in the joint, prolotherapy, and then unloader brace kind of deal. I'm going to get Dr. Beck on an interview, and I'll be able to share that in the future, because he's like, if you think a doctor, he's like next level. He's awesome. Whenever there's something that it's like, okay, this doesn't seem right, I'm going to refer to him and ask him and pick his brain on how we can distill it down to a basic level to get it to work for the average person. And I'm very well aware of the capabilities of Knee Club, and then when we get out of the scope of how Knee Club would be able to help. So let's see. Seafoam Green says, oh, so John, yeah, look out for that interview. I'm going to be working on that here. He's got some stuff going on, and he said remind him on Friday. So I'll follow up with him to get a date and a time. Okay. I wasn't really sure what happened to that, but I'm back. Okay. Anyhow, John, I'm going to work on that. I'm not really sure if it's going to be through the Knee Pain Guru or the nonprofit that Dr. Beck and I are working with, and that is the Camella Foundation. Okay, Seafoam Green. I went through a left knee replacement. I refused to do it on my right knee. I'm not going through that again with pain, and I currently am feeling on the right knee. Okay, well, everything applies. I can help you if you want. I have members in Knee Club that have had both knees replaced. I have members in Knee Club that have had one knee replaced. I have members in Knee Club that have had no knees replaced. So if you want help, we definitely need to work with both knees, and we need to look at what's going on in the hips and lower back as well to help that relieve the pain and tension and discomfort that's going on in there. Let's see. Kimberly is tagging all of the people that she knows. All that she knows with knee pain that are limping. Kathy is also a member of Knee Club. That's great. I've heard from people that say their cartilage came back after unloader brace. Yeah, Kathy, it's super cool. The understanding the unloader brace helps stabilize the joint while the joint is healing. Similar to that of a cast. You break a bone in your arm, your leg, they put it in a cast that allows the joint or allows the knee, the bone to heal. And an unloader brace does something similar to that because there's an imbalance that's going on that'll cause wearing in a certain part of the knee joint. Perfect example is if you took an old pair of shoes and you took those shoes, put your hands in your shoes, turn them over, and look at both shoes, you're going to have an imbalance of a wear pattern in the shoes. One shoe you may be walking on your toes, the other shoe may be walking on your heels. This reflects up when you walk to specific spots in your knee joints and your hip joints. It's going to wear. It just makes sense. Now, an unloader brace functions as like an orthotic for your knee in a way to support your knee joint to bring balance back to the joint so the knee isn't wearing in that certain part. Now that's a crutch, so to speak, the unloader brace. However, we still have to go back and address the patterns that are going on in the feet, the ankles, the shins, the calves, the knees, the hamstrings, the quads, the hips, the lower back, to make sure when you stop using the unloader brace that it's not going to go back into the old pattern that it was before you started wearing the unloader brace. Okay. So then John says, should I go for a knee replacement? Now, I don't know, John, if you've asked that question before or after I was explaining about the prolotherapy and the unloader brace and all this other kind of stuff, or not. Because if you are asking that before I said all those things, I can understand your question. After saying all those things, I'm not really sure what you're looking for. Because if you're wanting me, like, I don't do, like, if you need a cheerleader, I will be a cheerleader for you. But sometimes people need a drill instructor. So I'm not really sure where you're coming from with that. I believe that bone on bone or not, that if you have no pain in your knee and you have no restriction in range of motion, then what conversation are we having? No matter what your diagnosis is. No matter what your diagnosis is, you have no pain and you have no restriction in range of motion. What conversation are we having? And that's where pain changes how we think and adjust the choices that we make. So when you're in pain and you look at the doctor going, oh, I'm going to soft the bones in your leg and replace it with plastic and metal. That sounds like a great idea, because your brain is skewed with the helplessness and the hopelessness that has been conditioned as a result of only going in one direction and looking only for those options. I'm 45. Okay, well, that's the doctors will say, hang in there as long as you can, because they want to wait till you're old enough, which is ideally in your 60s or 70s, to have a knee replacement. Because the joint replacements, the knee joint replacements, are only rated for 15 to 20 years. Which means they want to only do the surgery once, so then you die with the knee replacement in, and they don't have to replace it again. So it's your choice. Let's see. Kim is referring more people to me. That's me. Inside part of the cartilage is wearing thin, but outside portion is full cartilage. Okay, Kathy, we could have, on some level, we may have spoken about this, but bring this up on the next knee club call, because I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing that interview with Dr. Beck. So what we can do is work with specific pain pattern interrupts that will support creating the space on the inside portion of the knee. And then after the interview with Dr. Beck, we can have a strategy that would incorporate possibly some level of prolotherapy. And once again, this is above my pay grade. This is where we're going to have to pull a doctor into the conversation, a doctor that does prolotherapy, that understands how we're changing the neurological signaling in the knee, that they could support you locally where you're at with the prolotherapy in conjunction with the work that we're doing with Knee Club. Is that making sense? Okay. John Richard is a female. I guess we can't tell anymore these days. Okay. And Kim is referring more people. Okay. Thank you all so much. These are great questions. Let's see. Now, next steps. Head on over to the kneepainguru.com. Get on the newsletter list. Head on over to the appointment link. If you'd like to schedule a consultation, like what I was talking about with Kathy, we have, I am by no means believe that I am the be all end all answers for knee pain. And like I said, if there is an element of the conventional medical model that we can pull into the equation that will help you further and faster, then absolutely. My knee surgery, I dislocated my left knee 4 times. I was terrified to go to the doctor and find out. When I finally went to the doctor, the doctor said your ACL was torn. And it was like the world ended for me. And I needed the doctor and the physical therapist to do what they did to get me to a place where I could begin working with my knee myself and learning, because there was too much that had happened to the knee. I had damaged it too much in order to work with it on my own, at least at that point in time in my life. So I do not poo-poo the conventional medical model. They have a specific role. They have specific skill sets, and we can utilize those skill sets in conjunction with a larger strategy to get you out of pain the fastest and get you back to the life you want to live. but we need to understand what we're dealing with. And this is why if something is broken or torn, we want to identify that first. We want to make sure that is repaired as much as possible. Now, with that being said, you just want to develop the best strategy for you. When having more information in the room is always beneficial. Okay, let's see. Kimberly. Oh my gosh. You are on a roll, woman. I love it. Okay, let's see. Kathy. Yes. Cool. And Kathy, this is part of, and I know we've spoken about this a number of times in Knee Club, that it's part of the dialogue. Like, I get to know you, you get to know me on what I'm able to help with. And we don't just stop with the knees. We work with the toes all the way up to the head in terms of empowering you with the knowledge, understanding of what's going on in your knees and the rest of your body, to know how we can help, how we can step up and go, okay, here's what we need to do. Here's the strategy we're developing, and here's how you can get better. So I'm super glad you showed up on this call because I learned about that inside of the knee, or relearned. Once again, talking about a lot of knees, it escapes my awareness. Okay, let's see. So there you go. Knee Club, next Knee Club call is tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time. You can go to this link. All of this information is down below in the description box. You can go check that out there. I forgot to mention this. I need to start remembering this at the beginning. We are now addressing questions in Spanish, in Espanol, that we're going to be branching out. I have a friend of mine that is helping do translation and subtitles and things like that, moving in the direction of developing a practitioner training program that would be both in English and Spanish. So if you do have questions in Spanish, comments, whatever it is, in English or Spanish, please enter those below, and we will get those addressed on future videos. So, okay, well, we're approaching the 30-minute mark on today's call. Hopefully this will help Anne's question, the initial piece, and I love all the interaction that everybody had shared. Very helpful. Let's see, what do we have here? Which country am I in? I'm in the US. I'm in North Carolina. Western North Carolina, to be specific. Seafoam Green, you are absolutely welcome. Yes, the help is here whenever you would like it, want it, need it. Okie doke. This is Bill Paravano going to wrap it up for today. Thanking you all so much for being here. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.